Okay, this is a main share meeting, and today it's with great pleasure and a lot of gratitude that I welcome Khewzi, who's come to share for about half an hour, after which we'll open up for sharing. So with that, it's over to you, Khewzi.
Thank you. Thanks, Young Al. Good afternoon, friends. My name is Khewzi. I'm an alcoholic. Thank you so much, Young Al, for asking me to be of service. I was imagining a younger Al, but that's cool. That's cool. I like your name, Young Al. It reminds me of a rapper called Big Al. Very, very good rapper. You know, guys, sometimes when I'm preparing for shares, and Young Al asked me a while ago, you know, I love how well he planned it. Like, he asked me a while ago to share on this date. And I'm always impressed. I'm always impressed with alcoholics in recovery. Like, when I call a friend up, I've got a good friend called Oots, so I'll call Oots up and say, "Hey, Oots, do you wanna meet up? Do you wanna do this?" And then he'll say, "Khewzi, wait, I need to check my schedule first." And I'm like, "Yo, we've come a long way. We even have schedules now. I need to check my schedule. I'll get back to you." And I'm like, cool. So I like how Young Al asked me so early to come share here. To make sure that I prepare. Before I didn't actually prepare for this share, like talking about rappers and stuff. So normally, guys, when I'm in a good space in my recovery and I'm working it right, like, I'll get excited when I'm about to share. Like, as I'm washing dishes and I'm thinking about this share, you know, as I'm driving, I'm gonna be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna drop these bombs on them. They're gonna attraction rather than promotion. People are gonna want my recovery, but I'm not in the greatest of space. No, not for a long time. I think just this past weekend, where I felt a bit down, I felt a bit bored, I felt a bit lonely, you know. I was sharing at a meeting this morning, 7 a.m. meeting I go to regularly in South Africa, and I was like, I just feel like quitting my job, packing my stuff, and going to Tibet. I don't even know if Tibet is on the map, but I want to go to Tibet. And I just imagine myself growing this big beard and walking up Tibet, and I was like, but where does this image come from? And then I remembered, oh, there's a movie with Brad Pitt that's called 7 Years in Tibet. I was like, oh, okay, that's why Tibet is coming to mind. You know, but the only problem is that even if I go to Tibet, I'm going to take Khewzi with me. And the big book says, I'm restless, irritable, and discontent until I get that sense of ease and comfort that comes from the first drink. That's in the doctor's opinion. That's all that's wrong with me. I'm sick. I'm in my disease, you know. I'm lacking gratitude. I'm in the future. I'm regretting the past. I've got fears about the future. I'm not grateful for now. And I was like, okay, cool. So I've got the tools. Alcoholics Anonymous has given me the tools, you know. I've got the steps. I've got the sponsor. I can do service. I can pray to a higher power of my understanding. I can meditate. You know, I can help other people just to forget about me. Because selfishness, self-centeredness, that's the root of my problem. I think about Khewzi all the time. It's always about Khewzi. I remember a day a sponsee of mine, when I still lived in Cape Town, sponsee calls me. His mother just passed away. His mother had been ill. It's like, hey, Khewzi, I just wanted to let you know that my mother passed away, man. She's been sick. And I said to him, man, I'm sorry, dude. I'm very sorry about that. Just know that I'm a call away and I'll be there for you, okay? And he's like, okay, cool. And then he hung up the phone. And then I called my sponsor. I said, Jim, what if God is giving me a sign? My mother's going to pass away soon. What if this is a sign from God? That wasn't even about me. That was about my sponsor. Was like, Khewzi, stop being so self-centered. It's about the guy. Just be there for the other dude. But that's me, an alcoholic. You tell me something, I'll make it about me. That's not about me. It's about him, you know? And that's why I love this program, man, because that morning meditation, that upon awakening reading, it says, it talks about, please keep my thinking away from self-pity, dishonest of self-seeking motives, you know, because I'm just a poor me guy. I don't know, when I think about me, my mind just defaults to poor me, pour me another drink. I don't know why my mind is set like that, but I know that the big book says my disease centers in the mind. Before I pick up the drink, my mind tells me that this time it's going to be different. Before I pick up the drink, my mind tells me that this drink is going to take away all the sadness, all this loneliness, all this anger that you feel, right? But then the drinking stopped working at a certain point. My sobriety date is the 1st of September 2015. But that wasn't the first time I walked into Alcoholics Anonymous. The first time I walked in AA was 2012. But I wasn't willing to do everything that you guys said. You know, I wasn't willing to listen. I thought I'm smarter than everyone. The first AA meeting I walked into, it was in 2012, a meeting in Hope Street, Cape Town, called the Hope Street meeting. I walked into that meeting and there was a lot of people, probably like 30 or 40 people, 2012. And there was a lot of clapping, people getting up. Who's 1 week sober? Someone gets up, they clap. And I was like, yes, this place is noisy. I looked around the room and I could only see white people. And you know what happened to my mind? I said, I'm probably going to be the first Black person in AA. I'm about to make history right now. Then I got accepted. And I was like, oh shit, I'm going to stick around. Because I'm an alcoholic. I'm super self-centered. Oh, it's going to give me fame. I'm going to stick around. I didn't hear anything. And then a good buddy of mine, Funeko, who's about 19 years sober, he spoke up. He was sitting in another corner and he's like, hi, my name is Funeko. And I was like, oh, flip, this dude just took my fame. Now I'm not going to be famous anymore. Then I left AA, went back to drinking. I was like, what's the point if I'm not going to be famous? I'd always get sober, guys, and I'd always think like that grandiosity, right? I'd always get sober and think, okay, right now I'm going to write a book. I'm going to be on Oprah. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get more money. There was always like this, there's something attached to it. I was never here just to get sober. I'd always get here and be like, okay, cool, I'm sober now. I deserve stuff, And that's why this program never worked. I walked into Alcoholics Anonymous in 2012. I went to that one meeting. And then I did like the whole thing of coming in and out, going out drinking, coming back, going out drinking, coming back. Because I knew that you guys had something. It was laughter. I couldn't forget the laughter I heard in these rooms and the happiness and the lack of judgment. So there was a magic I picked up, but I wasn't ready yet. 2014, I went to rehab. My life was so unmanageable. Didn't know whether I was coming or going. Didn't know whether I was healthy or not because I drink and sleep around. That's me. Didn't know whether I'm about to get fired or keep my job. I didn't know what's happening in my life. So I just dropped everything in Cape Town. I went to Joburg for 21 days, stayed in rehab. Super happy to be in rehab. When your life is so unmanageable that you just need a break. I needed a break. So I stayed in rehab for 21 days. People would come into rehab and they'd share, and they'd leave. And I'd hear a bit of a message, but I still thought I'm a bit smart. I know better. I'm Khewzi, right? I left rehab 21 days later and I went to meetings only. I didn't get a sponsor. I thought, why do I need another dude that I want to tell my problems? I don't need to do that. I didn't do the steps. I looked at step 1, 2, and 3. They're about God. I said, I don't need to do those steps. I know who God is, He's the guy in the sky who's going to bless me because I don't drink now. So he's probably going to give me more money, going to give me a very hot girlfriend. He's going to give me a promotion at work. So I don't need to do steps 1 to 3. I looked at step 4, made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. I said, I don't need to do that step. I was a self-righteous prick, guys. If Jesus was here, I thought I'm here just below him and all of you are on the ground. I was like a deputy Jesus, so self-righteous. I thought I'm the Dalai Lama when I don't pick up a drink. So I was like, I don't need to do step 4. I'm like such a cool guy. I'm a good guy. My problem is alcohol. But other than alcohol, such a good person, I'm a blessing to this earth. So I didn't do step 4. And I had so many secrets. The one step that I told myself I don't want to do was step 5. Admit it to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. I said, hell no, I'm not doing that step. I'm not admitting nothing to nobody, because I had so much shame, so much guilt. I had so many secrets. They say in Alcoholics Anonymous, our secrets make us sick. As I told myself, I'm taking my secrets to the grave with me. So I wasn't going to do step 6 and say step 5. I looked at step 6 and 7 and I just ignored them. They didn't make sense. I looked at step 8. It was okay. But I looked at step 9. I said, I want you to do step 9. I want to go to my ex-girlfriend and make amends so she can take me back. Then after that, I didn't read the rest of the steps, 10, 11, and 12. I said, that's where I want to be. I want to do step 9 so my ex can take me back because I loved that girl, Or I thought I loved her. I don't even know. But I hurt her so much, in the big book, we've got the ABCs. A, that we were alcoholic and could not manage our own lives. B, that no human power could have relieved us of our alcoholism. She was the B, I thought when I met her, I thought she was going to relieve me of my alcoholism. Guys, when I met her, I just ran away from Cape Town and gone to Jeffreys Bay. Jeffreys Bay is like a small little town on the coast. right? And my dad lived there. And I'd been arrested for drinking and driving in 2010. My court case was only the next year, around the 16th of June. The 16th of June in South Africa is like a youth day, so it's a public holiday. So my court case was around the 18th of June. But I'm a binge drinker. So I started drinking on the 14th of June up until the 19th of June. Drinking every day. And when I drink, my problems evaporate. I don't have problems. I don't have fears. I don't have resentments. I just become happy. That's what alcohol does for me. Khewzi without alcohol is a fearful little boy, you know, scared. I love, there's an old timer here in South Africa who does a big book. He uses the word frightened. I was literally frightened. I didn't know how to engage with the world. I'd walk in a room full of people and I'd wonder, what does BB think of me? I'd look at Muriel. What does she think of me? Young L. How can I make Young L like me? Baby. How can I was here in my head. I didn't know how to relate to life. I was a people pleaser and fearful and an attention seeker. Loved attention to fill that hole in the soul. I'd go on stage in primary school. I was a high achiever, but I hated school. I'd go on stage and hold a certificate and everyone would clap and it would fill that hole in the soul, but only a little bit, right? But there was always this hole, like I needed more. So I don't go to my court case in 2011. I miss it. Then I call my dad, like, Dad, I miss you. Can I come visit you? I didn't miss my dad. I was just scared that I missed a court date. They're going to fetch me and lock me in for like, I don't know, a couple of years. So my dad was like, come through. I miss you too. So I went to my dad, did a geographic, spent 3 months in Jeffreys Bay, 3 to 4 months in Jeffreys Bay, working at Markham's, you know, the small shops in a small old town. They speak Afrikaans there. Afrikaans is another one of the 11 languages in South Africa. So I'd speak Afrikaans to people there. And then I left. I thought, okay, the cops are probably not looking for me now. So let me go back to Cape Town. So I went back to Cape Town and I met this girl that I'm telling you about. Bright, beautiful, like so calm, great person. I said, she is going to heal me of my alcoholism. Here is the answer to this drinking, man. I've met this girl and I'm going to drink better. Guys, I cheated on her. I deserted her, left her in the scariest of places. I drove drunk with her in the car. We had closed my one eye, trying to see because when I got drunk and both my eyes were open, I'd see the road. So I'd have to close my one eye to see the road straight. And she'd be crying in the passengers, Khewzi, no, you're going to kill us. And I'd drop her off. And she said, babe, please don't leave. I said, babe, I have to go. You know, the many times I left her saying, I have to go. Now that I'm in AA, I kind of realized what I was saying. I was saying, I can't stop drinking. Once I start, I can't stop. And once I stop, I can't stay stopped. I was arrested twice for drinking and driving. Every time I was in the jail cell, I said, God, if you're getting me out of the cell, I swear I'm going to stop drinking. I was so scared in that moment. You know, many things happen in prison in South Africa. But every time my name got called out, both times, I went to go buy 2 bankers of weed and beer. You know, I didn't stop drinking. Every time I'd go test for HIV and AIDS in South Africa from my sleeping around, I'd say, God, if the test negative, I swear in my life, buddy, I'm not drinking again. I swear. And I test negative, and I go drink, and I go sleep without protection again on Thursday. But on Monday, I was stopping. So that's me. When I was about to get fired, God, please make sure that hearing goes my way. If they don't fire me, God, I swear I'm going to stop drinking. I don't get fired. I carry on drinking because alcohol is my solution, right, to my problem. So I thought she was going to sort my drinking out. 2014, get back in the rooms. I look at step 9. I want to go make amends to her. She doesn't want to talk to me. All I'm doing are meetings. I'm not doing the steps. I'm not praying to God. I'm not meditating. I'm not doing service. And then I relapsed after 5 months. And then I came back to Alcoholics Anonymous in 2015, a year later. What was different when I came back, guys, in 2015, there was nothing special about me. I remember looking in the mirror and just seeing an alcoholic, you know, and I was like, I'm going to die, man. Like, there's nothing special about me. I'm just an alcoholic and something bad is going to happen if I don't get arrested. You know, they say in AA, we end up in 3 places, jails, institutions, and death. I've been to jail twice for drinking and driving. I've been to 2 institutions, rehab and hospital. That's why I've got the scar on my forehead. Was involved in a car accident. So I've been to 2 institutions. The only thing that was missing was death. And I really wanted to die in 2015. I remember crying around the 28th or 29th of August, like crying the whole night and just begging God, God, please kill me. Can I please die? Please kill me. Because there's a passage in the big book that says, there'll come a time in an alcoholic's life where he won't see life with alcohol. He won't see life without alcohol. He'll be at the jumping off place. And that's where I was, right? I couldn't see life with alcohol because most of the time I'm just getting into trouble. I'm getting arrested. I'm not cool anymore. You know, guys, I had two role models in my life. It was Rich Forrester from The Bold and the Beautiful, because when I was a kid, I used to watch The Bold and the Beautiful with my mother. And Rich Forrester only had two problems, whether to choose Brooke or Taylor. I was like, man, I like this dude. I want to be him. While all my friends wanted to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Jean-Claude Van Damme or Bruce Lee, I wanted to be Rich Forrester. I was like, I want to be Rich Forrester. And the second guy I wanted to be was Tupac Shakur, you know, famous rapper, fearless guy, but thug life tatted on his stomach. You know, I was like, I want to be that guy. He's so cool. And every time I drank alcohol, I could be those guys, right? You know, I love what I used to enjoy about alcohol is that I could pull out any mask that I wanted, any moment. You know, I'd drink a bit of alcohol and I'd pull up Mr. Romantic and I'd charm my girlfriend there, or I'd charm whatever girl I'm scared of, you know. Then I'd pull up Mr. Businessman when I'm meeting clients. Then I schmooze them, you know, I took the business talk. Then sometimes if someone pisses me off, I pull out Mr. Angry. I could express anger. When I'm sober, I couldn't express anger. I thought anger was a sin, first of all. Secondly, I thought I was a people pleaser. I just couldn't be angry, right? So I'd drink alcohol and I'd pull out all these masks and I'd charm the world, man. And then what happened at the end of my drinking is that I'd mix up my masks. So I'd be chilling with my girlfriend, I'd drink, and then I'd pull up Mr. Angry, and I'm shouting at my girlfriend. I'd be at a work event with managers and people. Then instead of pulling out Mr. Businessman, I'd pull out Mr. Flirter. Then I'm flirting with colleagues. I was messing up. I was messing up at the end, pulling just the wrong mask in different moments. Waking up in the morning, you know, my sponsor likes to say the best laxative for an alcoholic is a ringing phone in the morning. When my phone rang in the morning, I'd want to shit myself, literally, because I don't know who I said what to the night before. I've got a blackout of the whole night before. I don't know what happened. So, you know, I got to that point where I'd get drunk and mess up. It wasn't fun anymore. I like it when my sponsor says, because I'm an alcoholic, I like instant gratification. I don't like stuff. I don't like a process. It mustn't take too long. I want to get to a company and be a CEO already. I want to get into a relationship and be like the dude, you know. Don't shout at me. Can I just watch rugby and chill on the couch? That's all I want in a relationship. Don't give me the heavy talk. When I want a six-pack, I don't want to go to the gym for too long. I want to go to the gym for a week, and can I get a six-pack, right? So if I had to write the big book, if I had to rewrite the big book, I probably would have started with the promises. My sponsor said that, and I so relate. I would have started with the promises in the beginning because I don't like putting in the work, you know. And so I come back in 2015, guys, and I'm asking God to kill me because I can't see life with alcohol. I can't see life without alcohol because when I put down the drink, I go back to childhood Khewzi, you know, the scared little boy in a man's body. That's all that happens. I get fearful. I get frightened. I'm a people pleaser. I'm scared of intimacy. I'm scared of success. I'm scared of failure. I'm just a ball of fear, right? So that's why I'd ask God to kill me because I can't see life without alcohol. I can't see life with alcohol. And by the grace of God, I didn't die. You know, I came back to AA. I started counting from the 1st of September, 2015. And on the 1st of September, I said the shortest prayer of my life. I said, God, if you are out there, please help me to stay sober. What I love about that prayer is that I'd stopped believing in any higher power that I'd been fed by any institution as a child. Because I said, God, if you are out there, you know, I was so scared, guys. I was petrified, because I just knew if AA doesn't work, I don't know where I'm going to go. I've tried church. I've done geographics. I've changed relationships. I've done so many things trying to get sober. So I came back to AA and I listened and I wasn't talking a lot anymore. I listened more, you know, and I got a sponsor and I did the steps. I used to meet my sponsor every Sunday and would go through the steps. And I wasn't perfect. You know, my recovery's been littered with relationships. They tell you don't get into your relationship into the first year, you know, and that's good advice. Don't do it, you know. So it wasn't perfect, right? But I didn't pick up a drink and I did the steps and I prayed every morning. God, please help me stay sober just for today. And at the end of the day, I'd say, God, thank you for keeping me sober. I remember on the 31st of December, 2015, I ran about 20 Ks. So I ran from Sea Point to Camps Bay in Cape Town, 10 Ks. And when I finished 10 stays, I stood on the edge and I remember looking over the ocean and I said, God, may I never lose this awe of recovery. Like I'm still in awe till this day. Like I'm still amazed. I love recovery. I love being sober. You know, they say in AA that one of the best things that will happen to you is your feelings are going to come back. And one of the worst things that are going to happen to you, my feelings are going to come back. But I get to feel now. I get to feel loneliness. I get to feel sadness. I get to feel joy. I never used to feel these things. I drank too quickly. If anything good happened at work, I'd get drunk and I'd elevate that joy. If everything bad happened, I'd drink more and I'd go into like proper mobility and sadness and self-pity and all that. But now I get to feel, right? I think I've got 5 more minutes left, young girl. I'm not sure. So I'm just going to wrap it up. So now I get to feel. So I remember running over in Camps Bay and I stood over the ocean and I said, God, may I never lose this awe. And I also said, God, can I please stay sober? Guys, I had one consistent prayer for a full year. All I wanted was sobriety. I didn't want a promotion at work. I didn't care about a degree. I didn't care about a girlfriend. I didn't care about a bigger house. All I wanted was sobriety. That's the only thing. I used to do 3 meetings on a Monday. No, 2 meetings on a Monday. 6 p.m. meeting, 7:30 p.m. meeting, and I drive between. I do 1 meeting on a Tuesday. I do a meeting on Wednesday. I do a meeting on Thursday, 1 meeting. Friday, I do 2 meetings, a 6 p.m. and a 7:30 in Weinberg. Saturday, I do 3 meetings, a 7:30, a 4 p.m. and a 7 p.m. Sunday, I was just doing meetings, meeting my sponsor every Sunday, doing the steps, doing service, you know, and I got 2 years sober, right? And then my first sponsor relapsed. I was so sad. I remember when I received the WhatsApp, he said, I relapsed, Quiz. Like, oh, flip. What are we going to do now? And then he said, should I carry on sponsoring you? And I remembered in the big book, they said that Abby Thatcher, the guy who sponsored Bill W., he picked up a drink again, but he carried on, like they carried on doing the whole sponsee thing with Abby. And I said to my sponsor, and I thought in my head, maybe I'm Bill W. reincarnated. So I said to my sponsor, yes, carry on sponsoring me. Maybe I'm Bill, a bit short, dark, black, same dudes, reincarnated. But then my sponsor relapsed again, and then we had to cut ties. And then I got a new sponsor. And the first thing my new sponsor said to me, he said, Khewzi, you must dream big, but always keep your feet on the ground. But don't stop dreaming. Because I'd stopped dreaming, right? I was in sobriety, but I wasn't dreaming. I thought I was scared of dreaming. And he said, but always keep your feet on the ground. And what keeps my feet on the ground is service. You know, I stay in rehabs. I go to prisons to do service. So I remember writing these dreams. It was 2017. I was watching a movie, Peter Pan movie. It's called Hook. Hey, and I was watching this movie and I just got emotional. I started crying. Then I wrote these goals. Then I put them away. You know, during active gas, I used to get so obsessive with goals I wrote down. Like my whole dependence on life, my whole existence dependent on these goals. I wrote those goals down, I put them away, and I carried on doing recovery. And then a couple of years later, I looked at those goals, and I was like, flip, I achieved all of that, but I wasn't so obsessed. All I did was pray and help others. That's all I did. Pray, help others. Dr. Bob's last speech, he said, if they had to sum up this program in 2 words, it would be love and service, right? And for me, God is love. And then service is helping other people. So if I had to sum up this program in 2 words, it's about God and it's about being a human amongst humans. I eventually did step 5, guys. And the one thing that I love about step 5 is that I felt like a human amongst humans. I didn't have to be better than anyone else. But more than that, I wasn't worse than anyone else. You know, I could be a human amongst humans and I could look at people in the eye. I could never look at people in the eye when I drank alcohol. I always looked down or try to dodge until I drank alcohol. Then I can look at people in the eye. But now that I'm sober, I can look at the world in the eye and I walk the world without fear or favor. That doesn't mean like I'm Tupac or like Hercules or something. No, but it just means that like I'm not running away. When I go to bed at night, I'll end with this. When I go to sleep at night, I have like proper sleep. If someone had to break into my house, they could even pick me up, put me on the floor and take my bed. That's how peaceful I sleep. Because I haven't hurt anyone. I haven't cheated. I haven't not rocked up at work. Work's been tough, but I show up. I dress up, I get up and I show up. And it's been a beautiful journey, guys. It's been a glorious adventure. I remember chairing a meeting one day. It was an old timer who was sharing. He was on a walking stick. They said, no, don't stand up. He said, no, I'm going to stand up. Stubborn alcoholic. And then he stood up, and the first words that came out of his mouth, he said, Alcoholics Anonymous. What can I say? A glorious adventure. And I love that. It's been a glorious adventure, guys. I felt sadness. I felt joy. I felt a lot of things. And I've tasted a bit of heaven on earth. You know, growing up, I always had to die to experience heaven. And Alcoholics Anonymous gave me heaven on earth, you know, this freedom that I can't describe and this joy that's in my heart every single day. So thank you so much, Young Al, for asking me to come share. Thank you guys for being in this meeting. And yeah, I love you all. Thanks, guys.